I want to get into the power rankings. You guys tell me if there's anything that you think is off. Okay, I'm going to do it by tiers. So
Okay.
or tires, as Tio likes to say. So the
Well, I never
title.
live that. I'll never live that one down.
No, that's one of the funniest things that I've ever heard in my entire life. The title tier for me is UConn and St. John's. It's going to be one of those two. I think they're both good enough to win a national title. And I don't think that there's any other teams that will be able to crack that. They'll lose a couple games, but I don't think anybody else is good enough to be able to push them for a regular season championship. Agree or disagree? Good.
Agreed. Yep.
For me,
I think Creighton flirts with them.
yeah, I think that Creighton is probably the third best team. So the next tier is the teams that I think get to the tournament, right? I think Creighton is a tournament team. I think Marquette is a tournament team, and I think Providence is a tournament team. I think those are, for me, it goes 3, 4, 5. You can tell me whatever order you want. I probably would have Creighton 3, but then Providence and Marquette for me are there. And then the next three, the kind of like the bubble-ish sleeper kind of a tier is Villanova, Georgetown, and Butler. I'll talk about Butler in a second, but is there any way that you would kind of shake up? So those six, right? Creighton, Providence, Marquette, Butler, Villanova, Georgetown. I think you could make an argument to me that any one of those six is going to finish third in the conference, and I think that you probably could have a pretty valid argument there.
Switch Georgetown and Providence.
Okay. All right.
Paranoia is back, baby, according to T.O.
I think if they don't make the tournament, they're right on the bubble. That's where I think Georgetown's at.
Well, Georgetown's scheduled better this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yet another team that has an early game to circle, and it comes the second Saturday of the season against Terrence Oglesby's Clemson Tigers, and the game is in D.C.
Yes.
These are the games. Like, if you are going to,
you got to win that one. If you're going to be a tournament team, you got to be Clemson at home.
Yeah, like, again, this is.
You got to have fans show up for it too, man. Like, if you're a Georgetown fan and you're listening to this, like, get out to the friggin' arena, guys. Like, you got to be able to create some kind. I know it's tough. I know it's far from campus. I know it's a pain to get to. I live in DC
it's a Saturday, man.
I get it. Like, if you want them to be good, you got to turn. What is it now? Cap One Arena, whatever the hell it's called.
Cap One.
You got to turn that into a fortress. You have to be able to make your home games impossible to win. That's how you have success in this conference, because that's what it's like at Providence. That's what it's like at Gamble and at the Civic Center. That's what it's like at MSG for St. John's. That's what it's like at Marquette. That's what it's like. You got 17,000 people showing up for a game in Omaha, Nebraska. If you're in Washington, D.C., you can find a way to be able to make it there. It's not as dangerous as people will tell you that it is. I promise you.
I'm not willing to blame the fans for not showing up. I'm willing to blame the people who work in the ticket office, because if they pick up the phone any worse, there's no way they can get in anyway because they can't find tickets.
All right. Keep moving. What else you got?
All right. I'm going to make my pitch for Butler, and then we're going to get into awards and bold predictions. All right. My pitch for Butler. I think Butler is going to be in the mix for a tournament here. A tournament bid. Jalen Jackson is a stud at the point. They really like Finley Bizjack coming back. I've heard that the best player on that roster in the summer has been Michael Ajayi, who was awesome at Pepperdine, went to Gonzaga, didn't really fit with what Mark Few wanted to do, and now I think he's one of these like post-hype transfers that could come in and be like a borderline all-league guy. And the TO, I'm sure you've seen this kid, Efiosa Oliagu Alaber. I hope I got your name right. Is like a top 150 freshman, but he is a freak athlete that they're going to play some minutes at the point, who's going to get out in transition, who was awesome against the Team USA in the U19s. There's going to be
strong athlete, broad shoulders, can't throw it in the ocean with his feet in the water, but he does everything else.
There's going to be a couple times this season where he dunks on somebody that he'll be a Sports Center top 10 play. Yep.
Jamie Kaiser.
Oh yeah, too.
Jamie Kaiser.
Good.
I've heard from guys who went up and watched their practice that he's been good. Jamie Kaiser.
All right. I want to make sure we mention everybody. So the bottom of the league, DePaul.
Yep.
They missed out on the Brazilian kid that was because they couldn't get him into school. I'm blanking on his name. They should be better, but still not quite to the point where I think that they're going to be like in a bubble conversation. Xavier, they lost the kid from Evansville. I just think that they have a lot of good pieces. They don't have a star. And then Seton Hall, Fanta, sorry about your Pirates, but I think that they're going to be bringing up the rear again in the Big East. I don't don't see it this year with that group. Got anything to add? Either of you?
Well, I do think DePaul is tracking better, and I wouldn't be surprised if they actually surprise some people and emerge a little bit more than you're saying. And
Caleb Banks a good fit for Holtman. I'm like what he likes to do.
He is, and remember they have some continuity. You know, Leighton Blocker, C.J. Gunn, and N.J. Benson were involved in a lot of big games last year, and you know DePaul went on the road to UConn, gave them a ball game. They gave a couple of teams a couple of scares from time to time. So it's one of those programs, one of the three that you just mentioned, is going to give a reason for encouragement by season's end. And I'll be curious to see who it is. I mean, maybe it is Richard and Xavier. With Seton Hall, the entire roster is new, and it should be based on how they fared last year. I thought that they were the worst high major team in the country. So
Trey Parker.
Will see. I mean, that's right. Trey Parker should have a really good season. They are very high on him. He has impressed them. Bud Clark comes in from Merrimack.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one way for that program. There's only one way for that program to go. Like I said with Xavier, Malik Moore, I think is going to be very talented for them. And All Right is one of the best names in this league.
No doubt.
Can they hang in? You know, Anthony Robinson comes in from Virginia, and Trey Carroll's been involved in a lot of big games. This is a different monster. They got a lot of role guys, to your point, Rob. We shall see. But the pathway's there for the Big East to get 6 teams to the NCAA tournament. You got to win some games in November and December, man.
I think I would set the over-under at 5.5, and I think it'll be, my guess is 5. But I think that they're going to have more teams in the mix. It also depends on, like, can anyone pick off UConn and St. John's at home? Like, you'll have a couple of chances to land marquee wins. You just got to beat those teams at home. All right, preseason awards. Preseason player of the year. I got Zuby Ejiofor. I don't know how you can go anyone else. Like, he's the reigning Big East player of the year, best player on the best team. You disagree with that at all, T.O., Fanta? Anything?
No, he is the preseason player of the year. Really hard league to make an all-conference first team in the preseason.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
His teammate might actually end up winning it at the end of the year, though.
Who?
Yeah,
Bryce?
That's right.
Bryce
or Jackson.
I think you can make a strong argument. So we'll get to that in a second. Coach of the year for me, I went with Thad Matta. I think you can make an argument. The TO, if you are as high on Georgetown as you are, it could be Ed Cooley. Should be in that conversation. If Providence is what I think they would be, I think it's Kim English. I think if Marquette ends up being the number 3 team in this conference, you got to look at Shaka for betting on himself and betting on player development. It's wide open to me. I just said Thad Matta because I'm pretty high on Butler.
Yeah, I think Shaka Smart could very well get coach of the year with how his team is performing come season's end when you consider all that they've lost, really the last 2 off seasons, but all they lost. Losing Cam Jones, Stevie Mitchell, David Joplin. I think Shaka could be right there for this.
Freshman of the year, it's Braylon Mullins. There's really no other freshman coming in.
Not a league where freshmen have a lot of success. It's so physical.
There's no leagues where freshmen.
There's no league where that's the case.
Yeah, at this point, like if you're not like the Cooper Flag level player, obviously, like we're talking about guys other than like Cooper and Camp Boozer. Right. Why are you giving me that look?
Yeah. ACC has the benefit of some off games and whatnot.
Yeah. All right. Transfer of the year.
It's really tough to go play at the Rock.
Yeah, right.
It is.
Transfer of the year. I went with Silas Demery because I think he's going to come in and have a Tristan Newton level impact. Ian Jackson?
Yeah.
Let me pick somebody not named one of those 2 guys. Let me take a look here. I'm going to go with Jason Edwards. No, Jalen Sellers. I'm going with Jalen Sellers. Jalen Sellers. If I didn't pick the first 2, I think that Sellers is going to have a huge year.
All right.
Huge.
We'll end it with this. Give me a bold prediction. Fanta and then T.O. One bold prediction.
Villanova makes the tournament. They're in the tournament. They get in, and I don't know what they do beyond that, but they are going to be a tournament team.
T.O.?
Georgetown makes the tournament.
Wow. That now you have put them on the table, and you are going all. This is going to be
You kind of talked me
fascinating.
into it a little bit. Like I think you
Well,
kind of.
Brian Roth wrote about this. I don't know if you guys saw. Brian Roth wrote in the last week that that he
Who?
made the case. Rolf Rauf.
Who? Never heard of him.
Oh,
Never heard of him.
Roth. Yeah, go ahead.
I know
Fanta.
it's
Go
right.
ahead.
Yeah,
Go
I know
ahead,
who you're talking.
Fanta.
I'm
Go
just
ahead,
breaking his
Fanta. Go
balls.
ahead.
I'm just breaking his balls. Go ahead, Fanta.
The case for Georgetown.
Brian made a case for Georgetown being good and he's very well researched and does a really good job. And in the piece, he laid it out there. So Terrence might have something here. I will say this: if Georgetown is a tournament team and hanging in the mix, that really makes the Big East fun, because then you got St. John's, UConn, and Georgetown. Oh yeah,
Hey,
that's
by the way, I say all those things about the SID at Georgetown, get tongue in cheek. I mean, I would like for her to pick up the phone, but outside of that, if you live in DC, what's holding you up from watching good basketball at Georgetown, man? Like
The traffic in the metro.
Now.
The traffic in
It's
the metro.
there now. It's there. Get there.
Traffic in the metro.
Plan ahead. Get there.
And the biggest issue is there is no public transportation.
There's also no middle-sized stadium. You go from the court that they have on campus to 22,000 or whatever.
They have a high school gym on campus, and then they have an NBA arena. They need they need an 8,000 seat venue is what they need.
Yes,
that's what they need. They need an 8,000 seat.
There's no middle ground. If there was a middle ground for an atmosphere, it would be great.
But DC is the same. If you win some games, people are going to come.
Yep. All right. I guess since you're doing it, Fanta, and T.O.'s doing it, I'm going to have to do it. Providence makes the NCAA tournament. There you go.
There it is. There's our 3 picks.
Yep. We got 8 teams making it from the Big East. We got UConn, St. John's, Creighton, Marquette, Providence, Villanova, Georgetown. They're all making it.
No, you've each gone on a wagon. I'm riding the Villanova red wagon. Terrence is riding
Kimmy, don't let me down. Kimmy, don't let me down.
And Rob is riding the Providence red wagon. And two of us are probably going to be wrong. And one of us I actually think is going to be right.
I hope so. Listen, this has been the DTF podcast, Big East preview here. We're going to be rolling through all of the Power 5 conferences over the course of the next month. Hard to believe college basketball season is less than 6 weeks away.
Craziness.
Can't wait.